In this video, I'm going to talk about how I started my business, PJ Media, and I'm going to break it down into 4 easy main steps so that you can do it as well. So when I was younger and I thought about starting a business and what that entailed, my brain initially went to, oh, you have to have a product, you have to have, maybe it's an app or a tech startup, and you have to get investors and you have to figure out all this stuff, branding, company, all this, before actually starting and making money. And you're gonna basically run at a deficit until you have investors or you finally bring your product to market and have actual money rolling through from customers. And I think that's really the case for a lot of people. I think business is made up to be this big thing, but really all it is exchanging a good or a service for money. So when you don't have a lot of money to start, what do? Well, you trade your time for money. Rather than having a product, you maybe give up a service. And that's where kind of a service-based business comes into play. And that's kind of the model that I used when I started. So the 4 main steps that I want to talk to you about today are the idea phase, the plan phase, the selling phase, and then the build phase. Those 4 steps are really all you need to start making online, or even not online, service-based business in person as well would work, like a home service business. So the first one is idea. Obviously you need something to sell. You need some sort of service. In this case, and in my case, it was video editing. Now, a lot of people think, oh, you have to know the service. Well, there's 2 kind of ways that you don't. One is you can just learn it yourself. It's very easy. There's tons of information out there on YouTube. I mean, there's so many, even when I'm scrolling, there's so much content on just any type of business out there, people showing behind the scenes on how they do it and all that stuff. If it's something you're interested in, you can really find the research. And that's kind of what I did to start. Or you can just charge enough in the beginning to then outsource the work yourself. So if it's like in my case, if it's video editing, you can outsource the editors and then you charge as like the company. But we're gonna go with the first one today, which is, because we're talking about trading our time for money, and that is learning the service yourself. So in my case, I started with just video editing. I wanted to take people's long form content on YouTube, chop it up into short form content, and then post it for them in this like nice, easy, done for them package, so they really don't have to worry about anything. They just know they have quality content going out on a consistent basis without really having to lift a finger. I quickly came up with that idea. So idea phase is probably the shortest phase. You need to come up with a service that you want to do. So we have our idea, video editing. Now you need to come up with just a basic plan on obviously some pricing, how you're gonna fulfill the service, what the actual offering is around the idea. So for me, like I said, it was taking people's long form content, giving them an X amount of short form content per month and charging them on a monthly basis. So then also doing the posting and all that for them and the captions. Now it's important to note, you do not really need to get into branding here, okay? This is like what I call glorified freelance, okay? You're basically a freelancer that you're eventually packaging as like a whole business that you're running. So you come up with the idea, video editing, then you come up with the plan. Now, like I said before, there's 2 kind of ways to do it. You either outsource people to do the work for you and just charge a premium so you make the spread on that, or you learn the service yourself and offer it and trade your time for money in the beginning, which is what I did. And in my case, very quickly, okay? So when I came up with the idea of doing the video editing into short form content, I went and found 2 of my favorite creators. Okay, I think I still have the videos actually. I watched their long form video on YouTube. Mind you, I'd never edited a video before like this, okay? I picked a clip that I thought would be cool from a podcast or whatever, I think it was a podcast. I looked up, hey, what are people editing with? CapCut had just become super huge. I downloaded CapCut, threw it into CapCut, just the free version, and edited the video and condensed it into a short, added the video text, all that stuff, zoom in, zoom out, all that. It literally took about an hour. I learned how to do it, and this was just based on other short videos that I've seen on Instagram just from scrolling. So that's done. Idea and plan. Now you need to actually get people for the service. So step 3 is the selling. And now you actually need to get people to pay you for this service. This is where people tend to really overcomplicate things, okay? They think that they're just gonna throw up a logo and whatever and people are just gonna come to them. It's really not the case. You actually should do the selling, prove the concept before you actually invest in all the branding and everything. And that's kind of what the whole theme of today is that you really don't need a lot to start a business. For me, what I did was I went on YouTube, I knew a fair bit of real estate. My dad is a real estate agent. When I was growing up, I was kind of just in that environment. I just naturally know more than the average person about real estate. So I started looking up home tours on YouTube, people who had YouTube channels with home tours. And one of the first accounts that I came across was a father-son duo out in Toronto. They were a real estate duo, obviously, and they were posting long-form content on YouTube about like crazy home tours, like kind of like you see Ryan Serhant showing off really crazy listings. They were doing the same thing, but in Toronto, $1 million plus listings. So I was like, perfect. They have really cool videos. They also had a lot of educational stuff on there. So I said, this is a perfect candidate to reach out to. I found about 10 to 20 people like that. And I just sent a very basic email. If you want the email, I can do another video on that. But basically just reaching out, this is what I do. And this is the key. Would you like to hop on a call if you're interested to kind of discuss? It's not exactly how I worded it. I'll have to pull up the email. But you're basically just asking to get on a call with these people to then close the deal with them. Now, talk about maybe stars aligning. The first people, that real estate duo, they were the first people I sent an email to, and they ended up being my first client. They responded back, yeah, this sounds great, let's hop on a call. The timing just worked out because they were going away, so they wanted the content going out while they were away as if they weren't on vacation. We got the deal done, hopped on the call. I said, this is what I do for this amount of money per month. We did it for 3 months to start, and we've been working with them a lot longer than 3 months. So that's kind of how that is. Don't overcomplicate the selling. It's literally just conversations with people. Hey, I do this, would you be willing to pay for it type thing. Hop on a call with them, give them the details, and that's when you kind of close the deal. So that was step 3, the selling portion of it. And you can really get pretty high in monthly income by doing that. Just by being kind of, like I said, a glorified freelancer, cold calling people, emailing people, all that stuff, to the point where you get to maybe a few $1,000s per month, and you can supplement your job's income, for example, and then quit your job and make this your side hustle, your full-time gig. The next step, and step number 4, is build. And this is where I think people reverse it, where they start with the idea, they go right into building this whole brand, paying for branding, setting up a website, doing all this stuff, yet they have no money coming in yet. So I reverse them, idea, plan, selling, which we did. Now we have money coming in. And now we have money that is actually coming in to invest into the building phase, which is the branding, the website, maybe hiring people to do some of the service delivery stuff so that you can focus on the selling, whatever the case may be. And this is where you're really going to hone in on becoming a company rather than a glorified freelancer, as I said before. So very straightforward. I didn't want to make this too long. It's literally just 4 very easy implementable steps that you can do today to start making money on the side of your job, and maybe eventually, if you want to, make it your full-time. So, and again, this is just based off of what I did. Very simple, not overcomplicated, very minimal work, and then I started making money, and that's how I started. So hope this video helped, and now stop watching and go start making money. Thank you.